Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you.
I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
to know what you need. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in small, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
You alive, can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat. You'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious. Release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blow me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon. Stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn, and I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted, can't copy, printed, can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm liquid. I killed this beat, I might get convicted. They know how I move, it was predicted. Persistent, spoken into existence, so consistent, no assistance. Hear me once, become addicted. If I rap it, then I live it. There's no capping, I'll be spitting this.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us.
Barnburner, Heroic versus Astralis. Jumping right into this one, Hawka. Where are you siding with this one? Because it's so hard to call, but I think I'm gonna edge it out to Heroic for me.
Yeah, I've got to go with Heroic. They've had a bit more time to work with this squad. They've got Hunden back on the server, and they're hoping they can make the most of that. We're getting underway into Nuke. Astralis starting on that CT side, and we've got some dualies in play.
Yeah, we do, but it's a double stack at ramp here for Astralis. Heroic looking to run it down. Hubsky trying to hold on. Glaive has come over to Hell to try and help out, but Dupree, he's drawn first blood into this matchup. Tessus has been pulled out of play. And Heroic, they're going to leave Kadian in towards Hell, and they're going to drop off and kill elsewhere. And Kadian, he's starting to take his fight. He's caught between two players, though. It's a Danny sandwich, and Kadian's locked in between them. Zipex getting involved now with the dual Berettas. Magic has been cleared out of his position, but that's the bomb drop. Zipex has found the bomb, and it's dropped down the vent.
Stound's going to wait for this aggression, but he can't even get the first kill. Zipex closes it out, and those dualies do have some impact on the pistol round. I feel like so often we don't get to see them get into play to that extent, but Zipex comes through for his team. Heroic try and fake towards ramp early, and they do force the CTs back, but Tessus' drop alone doesn't work for him. Kadian gets caught in the back, and Astralis still had two CTs sitting sound on that A site. They're hoping that they can continue this strong start on Nuke.
Heroic coming out straight away. They're going to be pulling the Deagles into play. And Smokes, there's a two-player setup at Silo at the moment, looking to try and pressure outside. Glaive currently playing with the Scout. Oh, and he's decapitated Kadian at the start of this one. Great opening kill for Glaive.
Very nicely done. Clean headshot with the Scout. Precise as you would like him to be. Those Deags on the other side. can be dangerous. You don't want to give them the chance to fire back at you. This is always a strong angle for Dupree. It has been cleared, but it won't make a difference.
Yeah, Dupree just holding the range against the pistols. And now Glaive trying to get involved as well. It's Tessus that has been dropped by Dupree. He's chunked down low, 12 HP left, so it's susceptible to death at this point. But for Heroic, they haven't found too much here. Not a thing. Maz is jumping out, trying to pick up some money. Gets the positioners down, and Bubsky goes flying over the top of his crosshair. Shot Empress down that lands. And now it's just Shush walking back into lobby. Around the corner is Magisk. And Shush is going to start walking into the crosshair that's waiting, but he's ready for it. And be able to pick up the kill, and Magisk gets the money. 2-0 start for Astralis. It's comfortable, it's clean, and it's not looking good for Heroic here on the economic side of things. So it should be another one coming Astralis' way.
Should be. And I think ahead of this matchup, I was really intrigued by what Heroic would pick. Because with Bubsky in the lineup, we've only seen Astralis play a couple of maps so far. They have played Nuke with him. We know they were trying to integrate Bubsky into the lineup on Nuke previously, and they've already played it at this tournament where they got a one-sided win against Extra Salt. So I was almost wondering whether Heroic would try and lean into another map, but they decided to go with Nuke. It's not started too well for them.
Yeah, it's not started too well at all for Stown there. Gets caught out, but kill from Tessus up above, and now Dupree. His turn outside to see if he can take down some of these blocks. Still a Deagle in play on Shush. And Glaive trying to get involved with his scout. Spotted the head and jumping players around the corner. And they're just taking their time. Dupree looked pretty hot here on Nuke. We got to see him at the start of this tournament. There was keen eyes on whether or not he would be the player picking up that AWP. He certainly did on the CT side and was very strong with it in their opening game. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he can keep that up against Heroic. He will have that ult battle against Cadian. And we've seen Bubsky picking it up on Vertigo as well. So it's been tossed around to try and figure out how they're going to play that situation now that Device is gone.
And despite that, though, Dupree has basically the same AWP kills per round as Cadian so far for this tournament. They're on basically the same numbers. And Heroic also have their own capable double AWP setup with Stown if they want it. They've been rocking that a lot so far throughout this tournament. Right now, though, it's the AKs out for Heroic and a lot of early damage.
Dupree is so far outside with this AWP. That position is risky, but he gets away. He gets in behind the smokes. And Glaive is taking damage as well. He's down to 11 HP. A fast and furious start from Astralis, and that is much looser. That is exciting. But they have given up Secret, and Refresh is taking that easily.
Lots of smokes used early by Heroic, but they still have flashes, they still have nades, but look at Dupree, he's getting into the right spot at the right time.
Oh, and he's got Zipex as well to back him up, but he gets cleared out quickly. And now Dupree needs to make the rotation down into the B site. Heroic are not coming that way, though. Instead, they go around to Hell. They've got Refresh down here that could cause some problems, though, for Astralis. You have got Bubsky on the stairway, and the headshot immediately landed onto Refresh. But as Gideon's striking out, Glaive has been brought down, and a 4v3 versus what is definitely not looking good on the defensive side for Astralis. They've got to step up here, and Magic knows he can be pushed from two sides. Heaven is a weakness in towards the lobby. Is certainly a play that could come through, and Magic is just trying to use the cover of the blue box. They come over the top, Stown will be taken down, but Shush has already dropped and finds the trade kill onto Magic.
Dupree with this AWP is hoping someone strays into his crosshair, but there's nothing he can do about the bomb plant. And without the kit, this round win feels impossible. He's waiting, but I don't think it's going to come to him. And he doesn't either. He's going to have to fall back. Really nice round from Heroic, just with how much pressure they put across the whole map. I think this is the way they need to play against an Astralis squad who might not have all those timings nailed down with Bubsky. You saw in that round, Bubsky and Magus were playing A. As Dupree does go down at the end. Nothing safe for Astralis. You see at the end there, though, Magus and Bubsky both playing A. Bubsky realizes they kind of have to try and go aggressive, but Magus wasn't in a spot to help him out. Only one of them pushes into lobby. They don't really get the chance to work together because Heroic had pressured both Yard and Ramp. That's just so much map control. Astralis feel like they have to get something back, and Heroic are ready for it.
A good round to reply with for Heroic. It has sent Astralis into an eco. They're not going to be purchasing up, and a quicker play out here for Heroic might be what Astralis wants. Some of these pistols catching them off potentially. Stown has taken damage. That Molotov gives away his position, and Bubsky over the top will happily take that AK upgrade. And now Astralis, they've got an AK to play with. Still not much around it. And they have lost that man advantage. They're just taken down at the start of this one. So 4v4 will ensue. I'm interested to see how much damage Astralis can get out of this one. Heroic now realize what they're going up against.
Shoulder spotted by Cadian. AK Abubsky would love to get a couple more kills. Definitely a player who's capable of having that impact. I like that Astralis are putting a couple of players with the USPs, with the pistols around Bubsky, so he can maybe just try and trade one of his teammates. He's even able to give a 5-7 over to Dupree. Heroic really slowing this one down. 45 seconds remaining. They don't have many nades left, so it could get awkward clearing some of these close angles.
And Refresh is going to wrap into me, but Glaive... Oh, that should have been a free kill. But Glaive cannot get it. He cannot line up the shots. And Refresh, I don't know how, but he's only taken 6 HP damage. And now the rest of the Heroic squad starts to come in. It's Bubsky who had picked up that AK that is delivering 3 kills. So Bubsky runs out of ammo. And Heroic, they can take a deep breath. That was definitely too expensive. And Glaive probably should have found that kill outside.
Yeah, you can see exactly what Astralis were trying to do there, though. Because Bubsky doesn't have Kevlar with that AK, just try and allow him to take fights and get the drop on his opponents, right? They're not looking at Bubsky, so he's able to just spray to the body, get a couple of easier kills. This one at the end here, though, as soon as Shush starts landing the shots, that aim punch is going to make your shots go all over the shop. But good damage from Astralis. Let's see if they can keep it up now that they've got the full guns out.
Well, the smoke's outside, and Glaive, he's going to spam through. He's so close, but no cigar for Glaive at the start of this one. And it will be Heroic who actually draw first blood into round 6. Glaive is the man taken out of the round. And Heroic, they've got a man lower as well. Good map control taken early on here for Heroic.
Yeah, it looked like Astralis just wanted to counter that play Refresh made in the previous round, where he got that pressure lurk down secrets. They try and fight it somewhat aggressively, but Heroic are one step ahead of them. They've just got Tesses looking in above, something that Astralis aren't ready for. That allows Heroic a clean man advantage and plenty more options available to them, because Yard is fairly open.
Zipex has the window to play with, but he's been caught. Luckily, Major stepping up with a 2K. Tesses and Refresh both going down, and Major is going to change up his position. He gets closer. It's down in Gideon looking to come around the corner, and it's one more for Magis. That's huge. 3 kills. Finally taken out of the round by Gideon. Oh, and Shush has got into hell. Gideon with the pickup, though. A follow-up kill for him. And Dupree, he's under a lot of pressure here. Shush is coming over to try and stop the rotation down, and Gideon has already gone to the B site. So Shush should be spotting Dupree. Finally will spot his head, and it's the headshot in behind for Heroic's 3rd round.
Shush had heard Dupree drop down to the site there, so as soon as they get that other kill, they know they can go straight down to B with the bomb. They know that Shush is in a position to cut off that rotate. A couple of Astralis players getting caught off guard in some of these spots, though. Magis did a really solid job on the hold. He himself made noise, so they were hard clearing that close left corner, but he still did a great job at getting one more kill out of that situation. But unfortunately for Astralis in the 2-on-2, it's Heroic who had the info, and now they've got a fast play.
Yeah, this is more like it. Testis out with the MAC-10 this time, but gets taken down by Glaive's P250. Luckily, Shush picking up the rest of the scraps, and Dupree gets overrun outside. Usually, his Deagle is deadly, but Refresh gets out of play. He's just now under a good bit of pressure, spots the bomb and gets the kill. Too many players to really follow up with, though. And that does leave Glaive alone. And around for Heroic. Again, they lose a couple of members. As long as they make sure that 3 stay alive here, I'll be relatively happy with that. If you take a look at the money, though, because there has been consistent damage being done by Astralis, 2K on Tessus, $750 right now for Stown. You would like to get a little bit more money into the bank if you're Heroic, and certainly saving 3 more players here would do that.
Here comes Glaive. Not checking the right angle, though. Refresh getting a couple more kills on the board. We're starting to see the way Heroic want to play early on Nuke. I think they are going to be pressuring across the whole map. trying to see if they can fluster Astralis, trying to see if they can just put pressure everywhere and make it hard for Astralis to predict them, hard to rotate, hard to pick those spots. I wonder if we see any CT aggression from Astralis though, because this new look roster is much more willing to battle it out sometimes, to go for those pushes. And if Heroic are going to be defaulting a lot, that could be the way to try and counter them.
Oh, good outside utility coming in for Heroic. They're going to try and run it again down into Secret. Glaive is going to have to let this go by. He hasn't spammed through this time. He hasn't done damage. And they just have to realize they've conceded that option. But Glaive right through the smoke just the final second. Takes Shush out of the round. So Heroic, they may have Secret control, but they've lost the bomb at the top of the Secret stairs. And they're going to have to go back and get that.
Look at Astralis. Yeah, Astralis have already rotated 2 down to B. Just buying that time gives them that ability.
Oh, it's so unfortunate. So much time wasted. The great start for Heroic, but Astralis just getting bombed down there puts them in a real rough spot. Heroic still have time to play with, though.
Definitely look to make the most of that. Only a couple of players down Secret. Still some on the upper side of the map. Astralis with that man advantage. Don't need to go for any aggression. Zipex has been left alone towards B now, though. Player at ramp is somewhat close by, but if this door swings open, we could get a fight any second.
Zipex is ready for it. Comes down to the decon play. Will he be looking the right way at the right time? And he turns around. Tessis taking the headshot. The teammate distraction was enough to allow it. Now Stown, he's lurking up on the upper side. They know about this potential, and they get the kill. Damage done into Refresh, but he's still walking. He may be a dead man walking, but he's still around. And Heroic have pulled it back. It's Tessis that's got that equalizer, and Refresh now pushing on to the AWP. He's looking to find Dupree, and 9 seconds left. That bomb is not going down right now for Heroic. And it's looking rough for them as Bubsky just holds down the lower side. It's Astralis who locked themselves the equalizing score of 4. We've got a close game at the start of this first half.
Just looked like Heroic got a little bit lost with how many positions Astralis had rotated into. They were trying to fight aggressively to help that bomb be planted. They were trying to fight off ramp so that they could force Astralis away and maybe get that bomb down. But Bubsky was able to just sneak down the vents through those flames. And that was a really heads-up play from Bubsky. You know, it's a slightly risky one, going that aggressive, but it's late in the round. He gets down in time, and once he denies that bomb, there's nothing that Heroic can do. There was too little time left on the clock. But the way Heroic are playing is clearly a stressful style to deal with. And I think you are seeing that with how some of these rounds are starting to play out now. Astralis have got to make sure those rotations are always on point. You always have to be ready for players lurking across the map. You really can't afford to have a lapse of judgment for a second, or you might get caught off guard.
Astralis' money's not looking that pretty, though. Of course, Zipex only on the scout coming into this one. The rest have got rifles to play with. Utility is solid enough. 2 kits, so keep note of where the defuse kits go. For Heroic, again, it's the heavy outside execute. The utility being dumped there. Different variation than they've been throwing. Thrown this twice, I believe, so far in this half. And it's refreshed down into Secret again. He gets that quite consistently. And now they should be ready for this play from Tessis up on top of main.
Oh, Dupree isn't ready, though. He was looking for the gap in the smoke. Instead, Tessis takes him down from above. And those smokes early from Heroic are so solid that you never know how many players have crossed down Secret. So you kind of have to watch both Secret and Yard. You have to be worried about both positions. And Glaive, we know he's good at getting kills through those smokes. He nearly got one there, but Heroic get away.
Yeah, that would have been a fantastic start to the round to pull it back into 4v4. Look at Astralis. They've got players in towards Hut. They've taken that control back, and even if Heroics decide to wrap around Heaven into the A site, they will still have to deal with that Hut push. The amount of players they've got in there right now, but Refresh is down still on this lower side. Zipex is aware of the possibility, and here comes the play from Heroic. They're going to pinch her on his position, and Zipex, I do not envy him right now. He's about to go down. He's not been able to pick up anything. Unlikely to do so with that scout anyway. But it's Glaive down here that could cause problems. The bomb still has to pass him. He's the gatekeeper to the B side, but he's been drawn away just at the wrong time. And Tessis gets the kill. It's Heroic looking brilliant in this round. And Astralis surely has to just save their weapons, but that might not just come in to happen as Stown is holding for the push into lobby. As is luckily getting the trade out. It is just the AK for him, and Heroic go into the lead.
And it's the same similar style from Heroic. A lot of it stems from the yard control. A lot of it stems from either getting down secret or wrapping through yard and then having players hold other positions. Magisk even gets traded out at the end there. He's been looking pretty good individually, but it's not been good enough for Astralis so far. They go a round down, and their money isn't in great shape. I think for Astralis, we might have to see them fight a bit more aggressively on yard in some rounds. Maybe you try and just put players down secret preemptively, just to slow Heroic down slightly. Because right now, with Heroic spreading across the map like this, there's just very few options for Astralis. It kind of just feels like Heroic are dictating the pace in most of these rounds, and Astralis are having to react to it.
Kadia blows out the door. It's an aggressive play into ramp here from Astralis. Stown has to be ready for the push. The flash in, ineffective. And Stown with the opening pick. Coming in for Heroic. It has to be frustrating as well for Astralis at the start of this game, because you always feel like you're in it, you're hanging on by a slight thread, but that thread's been pulled now, and Heroic have themselves a great chance to start building up rounds in this first half and really solidifying a lead. Stown getting pressured alongside Tessus. That's beautiful. Showing his spray control. We've seen what he can do when he's holding down mouse 1. He's looking for a little bit more just to style on these pistols. He's having fun getting those kills. Coming in early. Magisk getting one before going down. It's 6-4. Heroic are up and in control, but the money starts to come back in here for Astralis.
If Heroic wanted to be really annoying here, Dinko, if I were them, I'd be thinking about just throwing an A rush in there, because they just haven't gone for that too often so far. It's been all about the yard plays, all about the yard smokes that have been opening up the rounds for them. I do think an A rush at some point could be something that's unexpected from Astralis' perspective, but at the same time, what Heroic are doing right now is working, so maybe they don't need to switch it up.
Yeah, this outside execute's been working for them. Glaive is going to try and throw a little bit of spanner into the works for them. He gets aggressive towards outside this time, fighting red, but there's just too many players, and Glaive goes down. Something I noticed that Astralis are doing in their first matchup here on Nuke at DreamHack Masters was getting to pre-down in towards the secret stairs, right? He was doing a good bit of ulting from that position. That could be something that foils the plans here of Heroic in terms of this outside play, because they have just been getting refreshed down there pretty much every round.
And it's what's been opening up these rounds. Bubsky back up the ladder, wins that fight against Stown. Back to a 4v4, back to even numbers. But Cadian is closing in on that position, and the nade's gonna do it.
Oh, that's perfectly placed there by Shush, and Bubsky's out of that. Man advantage yet again for Heroic, and Zipax knows he has to step up. He knows he has to be the player that delivers. He's changed up his position. Cadian not ready for that one, but he hears the rest of the squad coming, and they might just walk right into a trap that is laid for them. Magisk and Zipax taking this one down. It's just Shush left, dropping down into the vent. 40 seconds left. Has got the bomb on his back, but Astralis is the 3v1, so they can play together. They will concede the plant. Shush has to pull off what will be an incredible 1v3. I don't think Astralis will let this one slip. Close to 1 kill, but there's so many players nearby. 2 from Deco, and Shush has got the right read. He's looking at the right spot. He's got a double kill. Now looking for one more. Dupree stands between him, and Shush is in with a huge clutch. A great start to the Danish derby, and a huge play from Shush.
They know exactly where he is. They have him trapped behind the silo. There's only one spot he can be in, so it has to be headshots. And Shush gets away with it. He realized he needed to drop down the vents to begin with. Initially knew that the B side was going to be open, and then just a little slow on this trade. May just go slightly slower. Shush is allowed a bit more time to adjust, and that early damage done onto Dupree allows him to kill that softened up player at the end there. Everything going right for Heroic right now. That's a heartbreaker for Astralis, because after losing a round they should have won, they have to go down to pistols.
Yeah, Alex, I feel a little bit silly about saying that Astralis shouldn't let that one slide, but he comes in, he gets the round win, and you can't say anything about that. Fantastic stuff from Shush early on here. 3v4 though, Astralis will come back with a bite in round 12. You may have the weaker weapons, they may have the deagles, but there's still a man to the good, and they have found Shush alone, isolated from the pack. You definitely don't want to stray away from the rest of your pack at all. And Tessus and Stown trying to recover what would be a disaster at this point after such a huge play in the previous round to go up against these pistols. and drop against them in this fashion. Just be heartbreak for Heroic, and Stown is going to start making his way forward. He's alone right now, trying to pressure that window room. Bubsky has just changed up his position, so neither player getting the info that. And Stown is going to go back up, and now it's the playmaker. It's Tesses in with a headshot. Stown has found Glaive as well. They pulled it back into the 2v2, but it's a solo play into the A site from Tesses, and has been caught out by Magisk. And now Stown looking for the 1v2. 2 players in front of him. Gonna be another clutch here for Heroic to start things off. They picked up an AK in the hands of Bubsky, and he's got Kevlar. Magisk, 13 HP, but you still have to deal with the issue of Bubsky. So you have the info maybe, but Magisk has looked away, and Stown has got the window. He slipped on through. They have no idea, but Magisk in behind finally spots him out. It's a nightmare here for Heroic, and the pistols bite back from Astralis.
Magisk is still going strong too. He's had so many multi-kills throughout this game, and we are seeing the adaptations from Astralis. This was a round where they only have the pistols. They realize that yard play has been a big problem, and they just go aggressive. They just say, you know what, we've got a bit of freedom in this round. We can afford to take the risk and just take some of these early fights. Just take that yard play away from Heroic early. They were trying to do that in the previous round with just Glaive, but this time there's more backup. They win a couple of those early fights, and it's actually an Astralis timeout taken after that round win. Maybe a bit hyped up after that one.
Yeah, especially because now they've given themselves another chance, right? You lost the clutch that should have been your opportunity to get comfortable on the CT half. You come back and you get a round off the Deagles. You can't afford to throw this opportunity away. You can't let Heroic just come back in and win this next round. So Astralis, they know what's on the line in front of them here. The money is once again not pretty. Same can be said for quite a few players over on the Heroic side, though. Is it a quick play here from Heroic? They blow open the door. Utility at the ready and refresh. He's running right out. Magisk is going to be under pressure. He's blinded. The kill comes in, but it's a trade out from Bubsky. We're even, but it turns into the ramp fight, and Zipex holding on. The Orc spraying away. He's got a double kill. Now under pressure. Zipex trying to hold, but Shush gets rid of him. It's now a 2v3. Astralis hold the advantage.
Dupree is ahead of them on that B site. So that limits the open options for Heroic. They're kind of trapped in this ramp area. Astralis have every single spot covered off. So once one of the Astralis players spots Heroic, they can start to respond. They can start to react. Shush just looking back, making sure they're not getting flanked, but they will go down to B, where Dupree is waiting for them with that AWP.
He's got to play his position very well here with the cover. He's got to isolate these fights and turn them into 1v1s. And Dupree, he finally gets his chance, but it's a missed shot. It rings out, and they know the AWP's back there. How are they going to deal with him? How are they going to flush him out? Time taken, smoke up. That makes things a little bit more uncomfortable for Dupree. He now realizes a couple more angles come into play. A few more to worry about. Flash out, they play together, they group up, they try and make this trade impossible, and Dupree doesn't get the kill. Well played there from Heroic. With 24 seconds left, the ramp play they're ready for it. Shoots in with a headshot. Bubsky's rotated down. He's playing from decon. He could spoil the party, but they know exactly where he is now. Running forward into the site, tries to deny, but Tesses from double door will land his kill. 8 rounds for Heroic, and again, it's just these late rounds are being played to perfection by Heroic.
Shush and Tesses are playing so well right now. Shush is up to 17 kills. A lot of them coming in these late round scenarios, in rounds where Heroic needs someone to basically bail them out. What an upgrade he's been for this lineup. He's been fragging really well for the squad, coming into the team. I think pretty much everyone was agreeing that he's going to be a pretty solid pickup, but he has that star ability sometimes. We're seeing that come through here, and now Astralis are the ones looking worse for wear into round 14.
Oh, well, it's Magisk with a good start in this one. Stown is down. And a man advantage in play for Astralis, and this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier on. It's Dupree at secret, but he's missed a shot, and I don't know if you can miss shots against Tess as much. It's a quick headshot, and Tessis is so quick following up on Glaive as well. 2 kills in for Tessis early, and Heroic, they've been given a fantastic start into this round. So much map control, and Astralis, they must just feel suffocated.
Magisk has taken some control back into lobby. That's the common response when you lose yard. But Heroic can start to sneak all the way into ramp. Just making the most of the map control they have. Now that they're up to a 4-on-3, they're sticking together, focusing on those trade frags, and there's no one properly committed to the B site right now.
Yeah, and the closest weapon is an MP9 in the hands of Zipex, so not looking great right now for ASTRALIS in this one. Heroic lock in the bomb plant, and look to lock in the round. As ASTRALIS don't have so much money heading into the next one, they've got an M4 and an AK, and that to me looks like a nice little save there, Hawker.
That's what you got to go for at this point.
Up as well.
Yeah. Gotta love that. Not loving the scoreline, though.
No.
Yeah, it feels like ASTRALIS are trying to make the right adaptations, though. That is a positive. It's just the way it's worked out. I think individually they've just missed a couple of those moments where they've had the chances. You know, there was the round earlier where Glaive tries to fight Yard aggressively. Doesn't work out for him. Now Dupree tries it. He's missed a couple of shots, unfortunately. And Tesses instantly punishes.
Doesn't miss.
Yeah. Ooh, hello.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, that is going to be frustrating for Dupree, right? He's close to getting it. You just about miss with your ult. And this test is immediately just snapping your neck right in half. He's been doing that quite a bit.
The upside is they are making the adaptations. The downside is they're just not working right now. Let's see if round 15 is one that ASTRALIS can win, though. Last round of the half, Heroic go for the full AKs for a fast play.
This is really quick refreshes out in front. He's going to fall, though. Bubsky does well to get one, but his matches was needed, and they know how to deal with that. Heroic trade out evenly. It will be a 3v3 post plant for ASTRALIS. They have to pull off the retake, and Zipex goes down. The bomb hasn't even been planted yet. And Heroic is still favored into this one. Oh, Tesses, good headshot. Smokes up as well. And that'll isolate Glaive. He's completely alone. He's severed off from the chance into the A site. With so much time left for Heroic, they can actually just afford to do whatever they want into this one. And they've decided they want to go B.
Cadian's not even gone with him. He's just going to watch the top of them, but Glaive's coming down.
He's made the right call. That big brain from Glaive has allowed him to get into the B site. No kit right now on the back of Glaive, though. It will be a battle of the in-game leaders. Cadian coming into it. Must hear the tap, but does he run it? Does he go fast? And Glaive trying to pull him into the open. And no scope from Glaive. That is fantastic. That gets a 6th round for ASTRALIS. It was an uphill battle the whole way through. It is Heroic that will go into the lead in the second half. We'll see how they start and fare into the second.
I feel like you could really feel that that was a challenge for everybody, and that it felt like a victory over big, which is something to be proud about anyways, would have been, you know, even made that much more significant. So congrats for surviving that shake up, that tornado out of nowhere. And now that things are a little bit stable, obviously you have another challenge ahead of you. It's this fresh-faced ASTRALIS with Bubsky on the roster. Has ASTRALIS's form at DreamHack Masters Spring surprised you? Did you expect for them to look this good this quickly?
I would say it didn't really surprise me. I think they have, even though they lost Device as their star AWPer, I think everyone on that lineup has a ton of experience and they are still really strong players, so it didn't really surprise me that much. I would say Bubsky impressed me. He have played 2 really good matches for them here at the Master Spring tournament, so yeah, they look good for sure.
Well, listen, man, you know, Cadian specifically, and just I'd say Heroic by extension, are a bit of a story of kind of the upsets and the underdogs, and to see you guys survive another test here and another challenge on an outside circumstance, I think is just another argument as to why Heroic is one of the best teams in the world right now. So just good luck, man. You've got ASTRALIS ahead of you. It's a good old Danish derby. Everybody loves these kinds of matches, and we look forward to them. Best of luck, Stown. Kick some ass out there.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the second half. This is the clutch that closed it out. Glaive coming in, stepping up huge. Closing it out in fashion that just not many expected. This no-scope onto Katie and showing that Glaive can all. It's not just the memes on Twitter, Hawker.
Absolutely. No scope at the end onto Cadian. Salvages a 6th at the half for Astralis. Now they head into their T side, and I'm definitely keeping my eye on Bubsky. He's been so key in those opening duels. Blair pointed it out on the desk. Let's see if he can keep it up here against one of the best teams in the world.
Donating out the door. Currently Glaive going up on top of Silo, and Astralis is sending quite a few players down towards Secret. But Glaive, look at the position he's already got. And Shush, he knows that there's players in below him. Good headshot onto Glaive. I'll start things off. Well, good start to the proceedings for Heroic, but Kadian now spots them coming down Secret. There is a lot of action going all over the place right now, and Astralis looking to try and get onto the B site. Magisk has been fantastic so far, 20 and 11, locking in that bomb plant. And the 2 remaining teammates of Astralis join them on the ramp. So Astralis have got themselves into the 3v4. They've got the bomb planted. It is Heroic who currently stand with the man advantage into the retake attempt, and Magisk might just go down here. Refresh. He's worth some shots though. He hasn't been able to pick it up, and finally he will.
Oh, and close range, Zipex still gets caught out. It's Dupree sitting in dark, but they're going to clear him. 2 quick headshots, but a quicker trade from Refresh, making sure no shenanigans can happen at the end of the round. They had too many players to let Dupree get away with that. And despite the bomb plant, it's Heroic who find double digits on the retake.
Fantastic start for them into the second half. Getting the MVP of that one. Astralis, he did get the bomb plant, which generally does mean a force buy is a possibility. We'll see if they go for it. I like that Dupree was trying to play down here. You see how ready they are for him though, and he still steps up. So incredible stuff there from Dupree. And a tactical timeout for Astralis. There's only 1 left. That's pretty wild right now for Astralis.
It's a big decision here for them on their T side. They go for the force buy and lose it. They fall very far behind. They just save 1, then they can get a gun round out sooner, but puts a lot of pressure on that gun round. So I like the timeout taken. I think this is a pretty important swing round, a pretty important moment to decide what you are going to do. It's going to shape the rest of the half for you. They're having a discussion, seeing if they think they can get away with the force buy.
It definitely felt like Astralis were fighting an uphill battle that entire first half, right? They never really got comfortable on the economy side of things. Here they go. Force buy is up. Magisk out in the Galil. Bubsky following suit. Eagles, P250s, and MAC-10s for the rest.
A lot of early utility on Yard, but there's only 1 man following it through. Glaive is the man to drop the smoke, but he goes down early. Stound gets him straight through.
Now the play into the A side. Shush will be tested. He's going to hold on, but only 1 kill for him from the rafters. It is Refresh now atop Hunt that looks to undo the work of Astralis. And he's done a pretty good job at halting that attack into the A site. Magisk and Dupree now dropping back and running into ramp.
Oh, this is quite clearly plan B for Astralis. After their initial idea has gone against them. Heroic decide to go for some aggression, taking away the lobby control. Magisk is here to meet them, but Refresh wins the duel. And now Dupree will just be hoping he can maybe get that bomb down on B, but there is an MP9 waiting for him.
Yeah, Tesses is hungry. He's looking for it, and he's got his kill on Dupree. 11 rounds for Heroic. Fantastic step up there from Tesses, just patiently waiting. I thought he was going to really wait until you let a little bit of hope slide into Dupree, right? You let him start tapping the digits in on the bomb, and then you take it away from him. But I guess Tesses he's nice enough, right? It's a quick, swift death, no suffering for Dupree. When we come into this round, Astralis did not win their force fight, so they go to the deco.
It's a shame for Astralis that round too, because if Glaive doesn't die at Yard, then maybe there is more of a reaction from Heroic. But I think once they get the 1 kill through the smoke, they're much more comfortable. We're already seeing a start from Tesses quite early into the round. He's been feeling it today.
Yeah, Heroic have been going for some of these crazy fast plays, right? Even on the T side, some explosions out with the SMGs. Really exciting Counter-Strike coming in from Heroic. It's just Magisk and Bubsky left alone. You do want to see the money come out for Astralis sooner rather than later, right? Because already it's up 12 rounds for Heroic. It is their map pick. Astralis are no slouches here on Nuke. They have performed well on it already here at DreamHack Masters. They would not want to go down early on this badly. They're not getting anything in this round. It looks to be clean for Heroic. They look to keep every player alive. That just looks to spoil the fun. Again, you can't really talk about how good he's been so far. You know, you're 11-6 down, about to be 12, and he's 21-13. 123 ADR. He's had a good individual performance, but you won't be too happy that you're behind here. He gets flanked behind. Some extra money for Tessus. 12 rounds locked in for Heroic.
Heroic have a bit of extra money in the bank. We'll have a look to see if they want to upgrade these weapons, or maybe if they want to go aggressive. I mean, the MP9 of Tessus has definitely got options here on the CT side, so he's happy to stick with it. They'd rather keep cash in the bank, which I think is a good decision for Heroic. Leaves them with a buffer, even if they were to lose this round. As for Astralis, they do not have that same luxury, Dinko. They kind of need to win this one, and Tessus is going to go down secret early with that SMG.
Yeah, good flash lineups. You can run on the fly, gets down into secret. They should be aware of the possibility of him being down there, but it's more one thing being aware and one thing being able to deal with it. And Tessus, he's going to run all the way through secret and back down into ramp, so he's had a lot of running in this round. He's got his steps up on his Fitbit.
Wow. Heroic are now rotating 3 players towards Yard. Maybe trying to fight that aggressively. I think the smokes will deny them, and it's going to be up to the Deeg of Tessus.
And Astralis is going to start running down Tessus. He's got Cadian beside him. Incendiary coming in as well. That utility will really set back Astralis and force them into the lobby play.
Flash for info, that's great. They know Yard is clear now. They can start to maybe rotate some players back to A in time. Problem is, Astralis are going Yard, but Stow still has eyes on this position.
Yeah, he will be able to get this information quickly. Gets away and stays alive. Yet to die for either side here. No one's been dropped off the server with 35 seconds remaining in play. It certainly gets interesting into these final few moments about how this crunch is going to play out for Astralis. Which side do they decide to go to? Right now, Heroic are ready for the A play, but B might just be the right call. They're going to run down secret, sprinting forward, in fact.
They've got the lurker. They've got another kill. Heroic with 2 early frags, and now they can afford to give up B, but they don't want to. Cadian drops down the vents. In comes Tessus, long-range MP9. And Magisk has been having a great game so far, but even he can't win this one. Heroic just out of nowhere win all those fights. What an explosive round.
Just the constant adjustments coming in for Heroic. We watched Tessus from the beginning of the round run to secret, back into ramp. The information plays outside. They just have so much control. And then in the final few moments, Astralis tried to run it down into secret, but they just get picked apart. Another tactical timeout coming in for Astralis. How deep does their strat book go now? This roster have not been playing together for a long time. And the role shifts, obviously, there's going to be a missing player, a missing X factor that we generally talk about, and you can't really emphasize enough, right? The fact that Device does get you out of holes in these situations. They used to look to him to have these big hero plays on that AWP, right? Those star plays could get you over the line and turn something like this around. They don't really have that right now. They've got to dig deep.
Yeah, you really do look to Magisk, Bubsky, and Dupree now to be the big 3 in terms of fragging on this team. And the nice thing about having Device on the lineup was he was the consistent one that you could always rely on, or at least almost always rely on. Now they may not have that same aspect to their game, but they've got a buy, and they've got an AK in the hands of Glaive. This time it's him getting aggressive and putting the pressure on early.
Yeah, Glaive has hit that opening kill kit, and he's missed the timing. They've got players down there, but the issue is the bomb is still back. It's still at red. Magisk is going to go for the smoke off. Refresh holds off. The play into the B site not working, and Magisk has been dropped. That's the bomb down outside for Astralis. They may be able to find the opening kill in the round, but quickly pulled back by Heroic. And Cadian looks to be their nemesis yet again. Holding outside. Holding the crosses. The time will take on. Still over a minute left in play, and Astralis are down too many members. You've still got the AK. It's in the hands of Zipex now. They've got to figure out how they're going to get that bomb back. It's dropped in the open. I'm watching for it, though. So they should be able to pick it up. They don't know that, though. So they have to spend time trying to grab it.
finally got that bomb back into their hands, but as you pointed out, it's cost them a lot of time. And Cadian may have heard those steps going towards Secret there. I think he should have an idea. There could be players coming down to B. Either way, Refresh is there ready and waiting. Zipex is hoping he can cut off the rotate down vent, but there's always a chance Refresh just shuts this down alone.
Especially because Glaive is so low, and they also have two players currently playing from ramp, so they can make a very quick rotation down into the B site here, Heroic, and that's why they're going A. They're running up into the A site, and this could work for Astralis. It gives them a chance. They're going for the plant, they'll lock it in. Great call in the late round. Gideon is holding the cross, but Bubsky's not walked into his crossout just yet. They're waiting for a mistake to come through, and there it is. Finally, Glaive gets aggressive, Gideon gets his kill, and Heroic are up 2 men into this retake attempt. They're looking to try and pull the kills back. It's Zipex and it's Bubsky. AK still in play, still a chance here for Astralis, especially when that can happen. Zipex coming in with a double, and now Tessus and Shoes trying to get back in. It's a headshot for Shoes. He silences Astralis again, but Bubsky looks to be loud. The defuse is coming in. He hasn't gone around the corner. He hasn't checked for this, and the round is going in favor of Heroic. 14-6. A valiant attempt towards the end there for Astralis, but it's just not to be.
Good to see those mid-round calls are still there for Astralis, but on this occasion, they don't really have the firepower to back it up. Even with that AK of Zipex doing what it could, it wasn't enough to win them the round. Especially Heroic, having these smokes for the retake really helps them. Bubsky never really got a chance to play the round. He was sat behind the smoke the entire time. And now it's the AKs out again for Astralis. They need to win a T-side round here. They are not able to do so far. This is where it's got to change.
Astralis taking their time at the start of this gun round. It's do or die time for them in this one. Lose this, money's gone again. Heroic up a map point. To lose this convincingly at the start of an important matchup. The winner moves through to the semis, the loser into the quarters. It's confirmed, of course, but you want to get into the semi-finals. And Gideon is looking to spoil their outside plans. He's got so aggressive, gets a shot, but Dupree comes back quickly with a headshot of his own.
It's advanced information, though. They've seen the yard smokes go down. They've got a player down Secret already, so Heroic don't have to be concerned about that. They do have to be concerned about the rest of yard, though. They'll try and have a player rotate over to plug the gap. It's Tessus who was looking up towards heaven. Again, though, Astralis, very patient, but as this time ticks on down, Heroic might be the ones who are able to get the read on the situation. 32 seconds now.
Yeah, very limited time, very limited chances when it comes to the margin of error. It is minimal. And there's the play up from Stown. That's information on the Bubsky, but Tessus, he's going to be the player that could foil the plans of Astralis, but Magisk is quicker. The headshot landed. And now Strush inside of the site still has a teammate towards the back. It's Refresh with it all to do now. Oh, Refresh, that's huge! A 4K out of nowhere, and that is exactly what they needed. It's 15 rounds for Heroic, and Refresh just unleashes.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable that he gets away with it. Oh, Heroic looked like they were about to lose a round, and then Refresh comes through. This transfer onto 2 separate players and then down to the last man. Instant headshot against Zipex, against the clutch minister himself. Unreal.
You just look at that for Astralis and what can go right for them. They get every single pick going into the site, but it's just Refresh at the back alone that does everything. So many angles he had to fight.
That round had the shades of classic Astralis. Like, they just waited for the mistakes from Heroic, right? They waited for the over faces. That's not classic Astralis, though. Not getting clutched against like that.
That's unbelievable. And Gideon is going to try and pull things back here for Heroic. They were a man down at the start of the round, but the advantage does not lie in Astralis' hands for long. 4v4. The Shush goes forward as Refresh, who continues to kill Astralis. He's up to 16 kills now, finding Bubsky. The time does start to tick forward, and Astralis finding themselves a man down again. What call can they pull out with limited utility? It's just a molly and a flash left. You've got Glaive in towards Secret. Magisk alongside Zipex in towards lobby, but you've still got to walk through the setup of Shush and Refresh if you want to go in towards A. So it has to be the play to fight ramp. And Tess says he's been fantastic in this map so far, 24 and 12. This is not going to be an easy test to pass. In meantime, it will be Glaive walking his way through the lower side to get the info. Now they've got to go. There's limited time, and Tess says he's doing a good job at slowing them. He hasn't died yet, and now he's dropped down. He's found the ball. He's looking for his follow-up kills as well, but Magisk has hit the headshot. And he's going to throw the molly in behind him, trying to allow him to get down as Glaive jewels it out. Wakadian, he wins the fight, but not for long. He's burnt to a crisp. That molly holds them back for the meantime, but Magisk needs to deliver a huge clutch. He's got one already.
Competition, ain't no revival, I shoot it to kill it.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to live this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna light it up.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, we're searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so. And now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves. Laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
A double overtime win, has to be said, against Complexity. It was a very close one, but generally Inferno games tend to be closer. It tends to be a map that both teams are going to be able to play, both teams are going to be able to go back and forth on. I want to see that here, Dinko. I don't want a blowout. Even if Heroic win, I hope we at least get a close map, because that first one felt like it could have been closer if we didn't have some of those crazy plays.
Yeah, we had some huge individual step-ups from Heroic that put them in that position. We're looking at you, Shush, and Refresh, but the 1xBet odds at the top of your screen certainly favoring Heroic coming into this one, and you cannot blame them. At the start of this round, and it's Shush fighting down mid early. Astralis leaning the players in Banana early on. They're still at the bottom. Now I'm walking up. They've still got utility here over on Heroics. Down with a smoke. He's still got an itchy in his hands and a flash as well. So plenty of utility saved up into the late round here for Heroic.
Oh, the nade might be on point. Goes a bit too far, so it only does a bit of damage onto Bubsky, but the push is at the ready. Counter smoke from Heroic, but Bubsky's got ahead of it.
Oh, Tessus from the pillar getting one, a second picked up as well from Tessus. He gets a third. Refresh stepping up as well. And this pistol, it is looking clean here for Heroic. Nothing they can do. Astralis just fall by the wayside. Heroic in with a pistol win.
That flash that came in from Stown was really helpful. Helped set up Tessus for some of those fights. You just see how that one flash he throws completely disjoints the push from Astralis. Right, Astralis would want to be just rushing together with the Glocks, but look how awkward this is. That player's blind. This other player who was in the smoke was trying to push through, but he got blinded and had to run back. That flash from Stown basically wins them the round.
Yeah, that's incredible hold as well from Tessus individually, just hitting every shot that came into his crosshair. And now Astralis have gone back to the forest spy. No bomb plant, so it's much weaker. You haven't got any of these rifles. Oh, Bubsky around the corner, launches himself into Tessus. Will happily take that kill with the M4. So good start into this round for Heroic, and we'll see if they can get a few more. They've double stacked into short here. And Dupree might just clear out Cadian, but it doesn't even matter. Cadian still gets that opening pick.
Heroic have taken full banana control though. Deep smoke down, so they can stay stacked on this A site. That'll make it even easier for them on the hold. Bubsky there got into a position where he had the chance for one of those opening kills we were talking about. Hasn't really had the chance to play much on the T side so far, but his first attempt at an opening kill there on Inferno, unsuccessful. And we talked earlier about how Bubsky has been instrumental to Astralis' T side with some of those opening kills. So now that they've lost it and they don't have that much to work with, got to assume this will be a Heroic cleanup.
I do love how Heroic are going for such a bonus here, and they're still coming out on top. so far pretty cleanly. The Astralis players are low, and they're going to be walking around long. They sense a bit of a chance here. They're close, but look at how many players are on the other side of this. And Tessos gets the information with the gap at the edge of the smoke, knows one player's crossed in behind it. And with 7 seconds left, they try and jump onto the A side, but it's not worked out. Shush has come in with some extra money on that MP9. And a fantastic start into this one for Heroic. 2-0 up. Astralis not getting a bomb plant into that round, so they've got no money in this one.
This was the early fight. Bubsky heard the player jumping, so thought he had a chance to pounce. Fortunately, it wasn't the case. Heroic getting off to a good start here on Inferno, and this has been a good map for Heroic in the last few months. Even though this is Astralis' pick here, Heroic's most recent loss on this map was against Gambit, 16-6. That was a pretty one-sided one, but other than that, they basically have no losses recently. After that, their previous loss again was another one against Gambit, going all the way back to February, and they have a couple of map wins in between. 6 in a row they won there. So it's been a good map for Heroic, and that's the scary thing for Astralis. I think their map pool with these roster moves is in a spot where they don't get the chance to go for punish picks necessarily. They're having to pick one of Heroic's strengths as well. And historically, Astralis' map pool has been a big part of why they've been able to be so dominant, right? So I think it's going to take a bit of time to build that up.
Oh, it certainly will, right? I mean, just a move like this leaves a team in a very weird spot for quite some time. And to be honest, I've actually been very impressed by the performance they've been able to deliver so far. And they've got into CT spawn. They're going to be running down Library. It's Dupree that runs into the crosshair of Stown just to give his team a little bit of extra time. And while they've pushed down Banana, completely given up the B side. It's going to be Astralis sprinting into B, and getting a bomb plant out of this would be the best case scenario, and they've locked that in. Heroic do realize what has happened, and now it's all about making sure they just close out this round by limiting the casualties. You don't want to give anything extra over to Astralis, and Glaive has got a kill, so that's Cadian down. This is definitely not exactly how it should have gone for Heroic. As they start to make their way back in, Tessus and Stown with rifles should be clearing out these positions pretty quickly. Astralis still alive, still nuisances inside of the B site. Finally, kills start to come in here for Heroic, and they are cleaning up the remaining players. They get the round, but Astralis coming in with the bomb plant, that shouldn't really have happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's miscommunication from Heroic, because clearly the player in Library spotted that they had the opportunity to go into CT spawn. I guess maybe Heroic just wanted to make sure they weren't going to get sandwiched on Banana, because if you get pushed from both sides there, that's when you lose guns, and that's when you have an actual chance of losing the round. So maybe it was just damage control. Once Astralis get into CT spawn, you don't want to risk just losing those guns on Banana, getting crunched in on and losing the round outright, and they still stay in control of the round. Bonus one here, though. Cadian's keeping the Deagle. We've got that deep smoke down mid early.
Oh, Cadian running right through the Molotov at the start, through the apartments, and he's got down into second middle. He don't seem to be aware of this possibility at all. ZipHack setting up utility. Look towards the doorway, and the timing's worked out perfectly for Cadian. He's got in behind. But ZipHack has walked on by. Cadian can start to get in behind the Astralis players, and they've got 3 in Banana, one of which carrying that bomb. And Cadian, trigger discipline, doesn't go for the shot into the bedroom. Will call the information, but now continues his walk, and Magisk is alone. Oh, he's down here. Cadian's going to get the free kill. Does he go for the knife? Does he go and do him dirty? He's getting close, looking for another pick on the fallback, but he is biding his time here. Cadian has so much info. This is a dirty play from Cadian. They're not looking his way. Finally, turn around. Oh, Cadian, he only gets 1. And it's not even Magisk that goes down. It's Glaive that falls victim. And Bubsky gets the headshot back.
You just wish you have a rifle there. It would have been the lineup. Instead, only the 1 kill for Cadian. I love how patiently he played it. I love how he tried to get even more. Maybe just have a player peek with you top Banana so you can get him from both sides. Unfortunately, though, Astralis turn around and spot him. Turns into an awkward scenario, but that is still a big overperformance with that 1 Deagle. And now it's the rifles that remain alive for Heroic.
Yeah, Cadian, and that's a perfect point, Hawk. He only had the Deagle, and now Astralis running into the B site. 4v4 is down. His turn to get involved in this round, and he's got himself 1. 17 seconds was the only player inside of the B site. Tess is not too far off getting that kill on the ZipHacks, but bomb shall be planted. Astralis will play the post plant.
CT smoke still up, but Heroic have a couple of nades of their own. They're going to smoke off Banana, but that's not going to make a massive difference because Astralis are all committed to the site, and the molly on CT will force Heroic into ruins.
Zipex holding, he's low. He's up on top of the coffins though. Strong position to try and get one, and he will get one. Traded out quickly. 2v2 now. Dupree at pillar has a strong spot, and the time is ticking right now for Heroic. The timer on the play, and Magisk has found himself a kill on Shush. Goes in for the second, and it's a first round for Astralis picked up by Magisk.
They had to work hard for it though. They had to work very hard for it, even though Stown was solo holding B initially, and Astralis get the site pretty quickly. Heroic put up a great fight here, and oh, imagine if Glaive doesn't turn around. It could have been even worse. Thankfully, they turned just at the right time, and even getting that entry kill onto the site, Heroic did a pretty solid job at just keeping it competitive, doing some good damage, and now Heroic will have a proper gun round where Cadian's going to have that all.
It's going round and down under pressure. So much utility being used up. And I love that from Tessus. The re-reply straight down middle from Refresh. And that is a 4v3 man advantage for Heroic. But they're going to try and isolate this player. And Banana and Tessus. That's a huge overperformance to be able to get another kill out of that.
He had the FAMAS, he had the 1 weak weapon on the team, but the bomb still at second mid. Glaive fully blinded, and Refresh finds him. Now they're going to realize there's no one else here, but Bubsky's just got to rush it onto A.
Yeah, he's got time, but it is going to be the 1v1 fight against Shush around the corner, and Bubsky, does he check the balcony? No. And it's going to be Shush that takes the round. Oh, it's unfortunate from Astralis. They get picked apart, but you have to talk about Tessus right there. He had the weakest weapon, but just performs to a huge level. They're throwing so much utility on his position, and he just keeps on going, keeps on getting kills.
Especially with that molly hitting him initially. You put that smoke down, they know exactly where you are. So to get away with a kill there is really impressive. I do like that Astralis tried to go for something quick early, though. I like that they are just willing to fight early, willing to brawl. I'm not sure if that's a fight they are happy taking, though. Cadian with the AWP gets the early kill onto Glaive. Only pistols this time out for Astralis. Full banana control for Heroic too, so they will start rotating soon.
There's so much info off of this, right? You can rotate that extra player over, and there goes Tessus. He's going to fill up the A site. Astralis are going to try and walk around long, and Stown's come over to the party as well. This is not looking pretty for them. Astralis, even if they get through Archway, they have to deal with Stown. And he's not letting them get any further. Tessus peeking out. Another fantastic start into the map for him. He's already reached double figures on the kill count, 10 and 3. And Magisk now alone, just the Deagle in hand. And Heroic have shut this one down. Magisk looking to just try and get a headshot or two on his way out, but that won't even happen either. Heroic closed it out 5-1. It's a pretty strong start here for Heroic again, Alex. It's looking rough for Astralis. They've got to dig deep and figure out how they're going to win a few rounds in this T side, because Heroic seem to be very comfortable.
Yeah, the level of coordination for Heroic, despite having the 2 roster moves pretty early on, is really impressive. You know when you just meet someone and you just click with them, Dinko? I mean, obviously I don't know that with you because we secretly hate each other, but you know what I mean? Like, that's what Heroic have, it feels like. It feels like it just naturally works.
Yeah, it's just the synergy is on point, right? It's one moving piece. An instant connection. We're all looking for that, really, in life. And Heroic have got it. And Astralis, you're gonna try and walk the way up bananas. Bubsky looking for some of those entries. We were saying earlier on, Blair was also saying on the desk, Bubsky's entry ability has been very solid for Astralis so far. Finally getting a taste of the server, finally getting some action back here, and Bubsky, he looks to try and prove he deserves that starting spot.
Doesn't even have to be the entries, though. It can just be taking map control like that, pushing Heroic back, because now they stay 3B on the Heroic side, and Astralis is starting to lean in towards A. Heroic look like they're none the wiser right now. They're sticking with 2 CTs on this site. That gives Astralis an excellent chance to go for the fast play.
Yeah, this time, Heroic don't have all the info to play with, but they will hear the utility starting to come in. They can get it to ready here on the defense, and here comes the charge down Banana for Heroic. They're going to get a quick rotation. There's a timer on the play now for Astralis to get into the A sign. Refresh and Shush, they don't even need the reinforcements. All the kills come in on defense, and Astralis just don't get a thing.
Those counter flashes were great from Heroic. I think there might have been a team flash in there from Astralis which slowed them down, but they still shouldn't have got all those kills, surely. They lock it down between them. Shush here, getting an initial spray transfer onto this player on the left side, switches it out to another AK, and they just don't seem to touch him in the mini pit. He was on 86 health at the end there.
Yeah, that's first day delivery with that AK. You start to look at it as a real chance for Heroic, right? Or for Astralis, they see there's only 2 players left of the A side, and they start to wrap it. You think there's a great chance for them. The reinforcements running down Banana, yes, but they don't even need them. They stand so strong. And Astralis, it's another one of those performances where you look at the chance for them, they certainly should have had a better chance at winning that round, or at least doing something. And that was a similar story over on Nuke, right? The amount of rounds they probably should have won or came close to winning, but just couldn't get it over the line. And that's just one added to the collection. 6-1 up.
I think quickly, with this new lineup, I think Inferno makes sense as the home map for this new Astralis lineup, right? If you don't have that primary author, you can rock the 5 rifles much more easily. But right now, it's not looking like a home for them. It's looking more like a nightmare.
Yeah, and Dupree, right? He's not really having the greatest of starts either individually. I don't think he had the best performance over on Nuke either, so definitely looking at some of these big hitters that now need to step up even more than usual. And Astralis need them against Heroic. Ooh, Kidiot, too far off that. That just tries to go around the corner, and it's down. And a little bit of pressure, sprinkling some damage down, and Tessus gets the kill with a molly. Bubsky just burns alive. And the bomb is down in the open at Banana. Astralis can recover it, but they're still down a player, and they walk around the corner, once again gifted the bomb. This time it rolls to the feet of Tessus, who just gets himself kills. Stown and Tessus working together, and Dupree, he'll finally get his first kill. He draws blood into Inferno, takes 8 rounds. He's got the AK. He'll look for a little more, but Shush was not ready for that, Dupree. 7-1 up for Heroic. Fantastic start for them. But Astralis, they have got money again, and that AWP is going to come out on the T side.
I think it is time for a switch up of some sort. It is always hard to AWP on that T side of Inferno, though, so we'll see if Dupree can adapt. 8 rounds in, 11 kills for the entire Astralis team, 12 kills for Tessus alone. That just gives you an idea of the level of performance we're seeing out of Heroic here today. Tessus and Shush again leading the charge, but here comes that AWP. Trying to see if it can get involved early, but Bubsky's taken some nade damage.
A bit. He's down to 47. He has been forced out of there. Absolutely no way Bubsky is welcome in Banana. Mad just doesn't care, though. He'll force himself welcome. He's walked through the smoke. Look at the setup for Heroic right now. Yeah. 4 players over at A.
I love this setup because they don't have to use early nades. Because they have 3 players watching top mid, they don't have to smoke it. They can just hold it together and save some of those nades for the later round.
They're going to smoke off long here for Astralis at deeper 1. And oh, the spam through from Glaive trying to catch out Tessus, but it will be Shush up on this boost. It's going to be a difficult position to clear out if you're Dupree. If you're sending the AWP in to peek this first, just looking up on top, it's going to be difficult. And then you have that second player in below as well. So they're making the call to go back into B. And this might just be the right call for them. Rotation has come in from Tessus.
We haven't had a Cadian highlight play yet, though. It might be about time for it, Dinko. He's ready with the AWP on the site.
He's waiting for it. Blinded. He's forced away. Further back into the site, but it's Tessus' turn. He comes through the smoke. He finds himself Glaive, but Bubsky quick on the reply. But look at the play from Refresh, trying to get there quickly, running down middle. But here goes Cadian. Headshot onto Zipex. Can he find any more? He's at the back. He's being tested. A missed shot, but he's still alive. He looks for more. He lands the headshot, going back for a little more, but not much more to be found. And Refresh arrives at the top of Banana. His mid push finally coming in. A ball plant secure for Bubsky, but now he looks to secure the round. This is much more difficult, but they're looking the wrong way, and he only gets the 1. It's again a round loss for Astralis. They get onto the site this time, though. It just wasn't to be. And I mean, Cadian stepping up again, just getting those 2 kills in there, Hawker. It may not be the biggest highlight play, but it's effective, and they're crucial picks.
Absolutely. And I love the way he stays alive for so long there, right? The jiggle peek onto the right side before he got that kill, just baited out a couple more shots, baited out more nades from Astralis. He slowed Astralis down so much as they tried to hit that site. He even got that second kill and bought that bit more time that Heroic needed to start flanking up Banana. Bubsky had a chance at the end, but it was always going to be a slim one, even though they weren't looking at him. There were 3 players on his screen, and eventually someone's going to start looking at you. As soon as they realize where he is, they trade him out. It's starting to get a little serious on the Astralis side now. You don't want to get blown out like this on back-to-back maps.
Yeah, it's not going to be a positive sign mentally moving forward for Astralis. I mean, they are into the playoffs. The loser goes to the quarterfinals, and the winner straight to the semis. If you're Astralis, if you get through to the semis immediately, you've put yourself in a very good position. But again, we all have to remember how much of a big change this really is for them. And they're going to try and run up into Banana. It's Magisk with the opening kill. Actually, Stown, of course, with the opening. But Magisk pulls it back for Astralis, and Tessis does not let them retreat. Take that. Tessis just drops 2.
Oh, I thought he was going to get one more through the smoke for a second. Not meant to be. I'm sure the 2K is something he'll be happy with for the time being. This was a half buy for Astralis, but they sprinkled some AKs in there with a bit of that extra cash. This is something a lot of players are doing nowadays, jump peeking with that nade. You can throw it as soon as you spot some players, do a little bit of early damage before you get tested.
Yeah, slows them down, discourages them from running you down immediately. Gives you a slight extra bit of time to play with, to fall back and get a better position in the side. But look at this again, Heroic. This is something they've been doing throughout this tournament. When there's a little bit of an opening, when they get enough information, they do like to push and take away all of that map control. And lots of these quick rotations. So right now, Astralis trying to get into B. Tessis holding on, and he doesn't even need help again. A 4K from Tessis, a huge round delivered, 9-1, and the domination continues. Heroic are just feeling it right now, and I think you are starting to see the fact that, you know, Astralis are coming into this tournament. I think we all kind of forgot about the fact that it is such a significant move based on the performances they've had so far. I think they've kind of overstepped what we expected, to be honest. Dupree kind of clicked well. They had some good performances, getting wins under their belt, but when you're going up against a Heroic that it just looks so solid, it's really starting to show that Astralis, you know, they will need a little bit of extra time.
Tessis still out-fragging the entirety of the Astralis roster, if my maths is correct. If he can do that for a whole half, it would be unbelievable. Fire round back for Astralis, though. Those early nades going back and forth for both teams. Smoke deployed at the top of Banana for Heroic, so that gives away the idea that they will be willing to give up Banana control early. And a slight adjustment from Heroic. Cadian comes to help on B with the AWP and with some extra nades. He's not going to use those nades. He's just going to go for the P.
Just waiting. Oh no, the timing. He was holding the boost for so long, but when it comes up, Cadian had just switched his crosshair. And now it's down, getting cleared out of the round. A quick reply from Magisk, a follow-up headshot. And this is much better for Astralis, a far better situation to find yourself in. And they'll go for the plant. They'll go for the round win. And Heroic, they're on the save call.
Especially with those AKs. Want to keep those on the CT side. They do have so much money that it probably is worth sticking around and trying to get exit kills, especially with this utility. Oh, this could be really nice. If you put that molly on top Banana and try and force it, Astralis, to stick close by, there's a chance you could make him die to the bomb here, and that would be big. Oh, I don't know if she's just going to use it, though. Maybe in the late round. Just get him out of the close corners.
Well, he's just going to walk into the open and die, and Zipex and Cliff do get their kills. Refresh, holding his AK. And they do lose a lot of players there, Heroic, but obviously money's not an issue. It's just losing some of the AKs. You don't want it to be going down. But Astralis finally onto the board, getting a second round in play. It has not been a great start for them, but they'll take everything they can at this point. And that's that timing at the start of the round as well. Cadian was watching for that boost for so long, and as soon as he switches his crosshair off, it's Magus that jumps up, and then he had a little taste for blood and went after Stown as well. And again, we started talking about Stown. You brought it up the last time we casted Heroic, was the fact that, you know, we were waiting for him to really be that talent that really steps up and becomes a star for Heroic. But it's the fact that they've brought in all of these players. When they've brought in Cadian, they've brought in Tessus, and it's all just clicked so well that the pressure is kind of off Stown. You get a little bit more time to develop as a player, and you don't have to quite sort of grow exponentially. You don't have to be that star player just right now, and you've got the rest of the team stepping up and delivering alongside you, and it's a really good sign for him.
Definitely. I don't think there is one real standout player. I guess Cadian's the closest to it for Heroic, that you always know that all your teammates can step up when they are called upon. Here comes Bubsky, flashes early. He's not able to get the early fight to go his way, and with all those nades on Banana, he's not able to get any backup either.
Yeah, these Banana fights are just brutal for Astralis. It's Tessus and Stown just locking it down. And Astralis, they're down 2 players at the start of this one already. There's 1 minute and 25 seconds left by the time they're in this situation. And you've got to deal with this double stack in apartments as well. Cadian taking the initial angle. He might just find Zipex. And if there's a player in behind, you would have to deal with Shush. And Cadian sees the barrel. He's so ready, and Zipex is not going to go around that corner. He's not going to give him the kill. And right now, if you're Astralis, you start to look at this round as if is it even winnable at this point?
Even when they're up 5 on 3, they're still taking more info, still taking more control. That could allow them to start to lean another player over to B. Refresh is the player rotating over as we speak, and they still have so many smokes to slow this push down. Oh, Astralis is so screwed here.
Oh, yeah. 30 seconds, smoke down, just comes in at the perfect time. And Astralis, if you've got to go, you've got to go through the smoke. Coffin smoke out from Dupree, Flash is about to pop, and still 3 players standing here for Heroic. As Tessus in with the first, goes in for the second as well. Dupree tries his best, but Tessus continues to mow them down. Another 4K from the back of the B site. And it's not just against these pistols, he's doing it against the rifles. He's just having such an easy time on that B site.
So impressive. He was great on the first map too.
Yeah.
Tessus and Stown have been locking it down on this B site. They've been making Astralis frown. Maybe making their pants go brown with how this has been going.
Well, okay. I was going to say, if you went any longer, you would have made yourself look like a clown, but you got 2 up now for Heroic.
I think I did that pretty well.
I think you did that well, Hawker. I think that's a real talent you've got for yourself. And here's the Hunden return. He has come back into the team. I think he'll be pretty happy with the performances he's seeing from his players so far upon his return. There's been very solid stuff coming in from Heroic. And if they can dispel Astralis this easily, when Astralis have been looking decent enough in this tournament, I don't think, obviously, they're not the giants everybody knows, right? You've got this weakness. You've brought in Bubsky, who's barely played any officials recently. You know, you will have a lot of weaknesses here for Astralis, but if Heroic can just crush them very quickly and move on to the semi-finals, that's got to be a big confidence booster, and it has to be a sign to the other teams that are in those playoffs to be scared of this Heroic team. They're coming for that title.
I can't believe that Tessus is still out-fragging the entire Astralis roster. It's incredible, his level of performance. Stown is struggling though, he needs assistance, and Tessus is there to save him, but the nade comes in just in time. It's Refresh who tries to swing, but this time the B fights go the way of Astralis.
Yeah, and that bomb's still back at T-spawn, so they're going to run back and collect that. They've got the B site, and there's no movement here from Heroic. They're going to give a few more seconds in play before they make their decision. But it's certainly looking like right now it's going to be some time if they were to go over to the B side. So likely just stay here for a little while longer, Hawker.
I think it's late enough in this first half where Cadian and Shush don't have to save these guns with the money they have. Right, there's only a couple more rounds left in the half.
Yeah.
So it's probably worth just either trying to do some damage to Astralis or maybe going for the Hail Mary.
It's 2v3 right now. It's certainly winnable with the way they have been playing so far. And of course, Glaive has been damaged up as well. He's on 40. There's not much utility left at all for Astralis. There's a heat on Cadian though. He's got Incendiary Smoke, HE. And Shu still has a flash as well. This time is starting to tick, so if they do want to go and get this win, they've got to go quickly. Again, damage will be certainly effective onto Astralis, and there's Shush with the first. Good re-flash coming in from Astralis. That's going to hold them back. They will just concede. Kid looking for a pick on the exit, but cannot pick it up. That is maybe an AWP available, but both players obviously going down. Couldn't get away. They were sprinting towards CT, and Astralis will find themselves the third.
Yeah, I love that. That's all you need to do, because Astralis' buy will be limited now. And you can absolutely just rebuy that AWP. The early trades on Banana this time, I think, a little more disjointed for Heroic. You see that Tessus was slightly slower to peek off the back of his teammate. But both players going down to the bomb does have an impact. We'll see it in the buy. No nades for Bubsky, no helmet for Dupree. These could be factors that help them win this round.
Yeah, Astralis definitely limping forward. High control has been a big part for Heroic, and Magic is going to try and win it, but there's so many players around the corner. 3 players leaning over B right now for Heroic, and they trade out utility. Magic has been given Banana control, but it's the play for Astralis. They walk through the mid-smoke, and now they're about to pop through the left side at long and refresh. He goes unchecked. He'll get one, nearly getting another huge multi-kill, but he's brought down very quickly after. Glaive has found a pick, and is a 2v3, still favoring Heroic into this one. The majority of their players are on the B side of the map, and the bomb's just gone back over to bottom Banana. It's on the back of Magisk, and he's walking right into Stown, who'll take the kill. He'll find the bomb, and they'll just smoke it off.
Glaive aware Shush was close by, but Shush doesn't even give him the opportunity. Oh, Glaive's doubling back into top mid. Maybe seeing if he can flush out the position of Shush, but it's so disciplined. Now he peeks just as Glaive's gone away. 40 seconds remaining. Still more utility for Heroic if they want to hold on to Banana. But as it stands, it's only Stound who's properly peeking in, and Shush eventually gets the info. Glaive down low.
Yeah, 8 HP right now. And try and go for the pick. Incendio is coming down, but it's the headshot from Stound that is delivered. As we head into the last round of the first half, it's 11-3 for Heroic. This is Astralis' map pick, and it's not looking so comfortable for them on the T side. Dupree, again, kind of struggling on that individual performance.
Surely not.
What?
An M249. Okay,
there we go.
Okay.
I was going to say, I only see that in matchmaking, Holker, but it's a return to normalcy. It's just been dropped on the ground. I would be surprised, though. Heroic do pick up a lot of random weapons.
I mean, maybe if you want to spam with it on Banana, who knows?
Yeah, doable.
You never know. You're up against pistols, though, and an SMG, so no need to fight close range on Banana if you don't want to. And yet again, this is that earlier economic damage coming back to cost Astralis. So keeping those players locked into the B site previously, forcing them to go down with the bomb, means that Astralis now have even less to work with for the last round of the first half.
Dupree starting to walk up middle. Here goes Astralis. They're going to need a big individual compensation right now, given what they've got to play with. And Cadian, you might just take them out here at the last round of the first half. He's looking for them. He's found his first kill. He's hungry for a little bit more. Nade onto Glaive, drops him down to 55, and the Banana play seems to be coming in for Astralis. They're going to try and test this again. He has just been on point, and that nade damage will soften them up further. They're going to go for the boost up. This could work out perfectly for them. Just those double rifles into the back of B. Stown can change up his position, but they're going to be sending that bomb back into the A side of things.
This is one of those rare rounds where Heroic aren't playing for info, but I think it's because they have the weaponry advantage. They have the nades to work with, and they're already using those rifles to their favor.
Yeah, Magic's about to set up in Moto Smoke. Interested to see how they approach this one. Astralis obviously with far less weaponry to play with, and Zepex tries to get forward. The MAC-10 looking to carve open an opportunity into the A side, but it's not coming in. And now Bubsy just one bullet away. 12-3 half for Heroic. They look to try and close it and head to the semifinals. We'll see if they can do it after the break.
sand, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Yeah. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a ride. Savannah. Just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land.
Into the second half, 12-3 versus ASTRALIS on ASTRALIS' map pick. They've completely silenced him, and honestly, Tesses has just been a one-man army in that B side. Hawker, he's doing more than the entire ASTRALIS roster.
It's just been so one-sided and so impressive to see this level of play from the heroic players. Cadian's normally the player top fragging for this team. He'd been their best player so far in this tournament. He hasn't even been called upon. It's been the rest of his boys that have come through, and the 1xbet odds clearly showcasing the sorts of chances we're expecting here for ASTRALIS. But they've got to win this pistol to try and make it a chance for.
Have made a call to bring an extra player over towards A, and right now that looks like the right call, and they're bringing another one over. Magisk is coming over to the A site as Heroic set up for the pistol play. They're going through middle. Cleaver spotted them early. He has to deal with Tessus, who's about to swing from Boiler. Refresh is deploying the approach from the balcony, and Glaive has gone down early. Nice opening here for Tessus, up to 23 kills now in this pistol. And you see kind of in limbo, Magisk wondering, do I commit to A, do I commit to B? And he's made the call to go over to the B site. And his utility starting to come in for Heroic. They're committing to their guns. They're running into the A side. And they found Bubsky. Now Dupree, he's been quiet so far. And they're going to avoid him. They're going through in the CT spawn. And Magisk now has to step up. He's only managed one kill. And they're running down into the B site. And Zipex at Ruins. 3 players stand in front of him. And he does have a chance to sort of pick them apart and give a small chance on over to ASTRALIS.
Lets them get onto the site safely, but in comes down onto Banana. He's been dealt with. In comes Zipex. Bomb gets dropped, and Tesses tries his best, but Dupree comes in with the triple kill. That is exactly what ASTRALIS needed to give themselves a chance here, and finally getting to see something out of some of those individuals.
Yeah, Dupree, namely, of course, a big pistol round from him. And Zipex just plays that one very well, right? They understand the situation that's coming their way. They know that B play is running through CT. And there is a player you want in that situation. Generally, Zipex will be the player that will play the situation to perfection. Heroic, they're going to be coming into this one with Glocks and just a deagle. You don't really have to sweat about the economy or going for these force buys, right? You just want to get those buys out as early as possible. That does open up an opportunity now for ASTRALIS to build some money and get themselves a decent enough start into the second half.
Some nice nade protocols from ASTRALIS early in this one. They used a molly down mid and 2 down Banana to put that entire area of the map on fire so that they could get that full control. Now they have those SMGs pushed up close on Banana, which means that A players should be aware that if a quick push were to come in, it should be to their side.
Shush. Oh, peace out. Add the damage onto Dupree, who smokes off to the long side of the brackets. Oh, Nade is followed up as well. That's a meaty one onto Shush. And Heroic, they don't want to walk into A anymore. They've had enough of that. You're going to be grouping up at the bottom of Banana, but right now that might not be any easier as Glaive is at the ready. Flashbang coming in for Zipex. It's a lineup there for Glaive, but he's only managed 1 kill. And now the Glocks continue to run down. Zipex on the double, looking for a bit more up against these Glocks. He's done well. He's cleaned it up. That's beautiful from Zipex. 5 rounds for Astralis. It's clean. It's money. And it's 12-5 as Heroic will get their buyout.
Yeah, he had to be clinical there because with Glaive only getting 1, you've got to make sure you get multiple kills. Don't give Heroic that B site too quickly because it can be hard to retake. I don't think Heroic would have won the round, but just denying the bomb plant helps you out. Make sure that you limit that T side economy, which you want to be resetting as much as possible to keep this comeback going. But as you pointed out, it's the AKs out for most of the Heroic players and Somali aggression up Banana.
Flash round, Gideon now looking for his opening. He's got Glaive out at the start of the gun round. That's not the start because now that leaves Zipex alone. He's under a lot of pressure. Now once again he needs to step up, this time against the rifles. Zipex getting 1, a second picked up as well. And now Shush looking to run him down. He's at second oranges and Zipex is delivering everything. 4 kills picked up and now a refresh left in the 1v4. Oh, that is huge. That's exactly what Astralis ordered.
You might not have had a Deagle if it wasn't this sort of round where you've just had that different buy come through for you. You might have just had a USP in your back pocket, but thank God he had the D to bail him out when he ran out of ammo. The flashbang helping him out so much. And Dupree comes in to seal the deal. Zipex with back-to-back impact rounds. Astralis showing us some signs of life.
Yeah, that's beautiful from Zipex, right? Flash out first, completely blinds 2 players. Very composed to get both of them. And I mean, Heroic just go through with 2 players at the front, right? And luckily, started giving him a little bit of easier fights as they're kind of separated by that smoke grenade. He just gets a few chances towards the end as well to pop off. And that's a big play, right? That obviously hypes you up and gets you back into a positive spirit heading into a couple more rounds here for Astralis. There's Dupree on that AWP. We haven't seen enough of him so far in this best of 3. I would love to see some rounds out of Dupree on that AWP.
No one facing him on Banana early, but the bomb is staying down towards T-Ramp. Maybe Heroic are thinking of faking that A site and then quickly trying to run it onto B. If they do that, though, Astralis have that all trained on the position. Smoke has just gone into deep Banana too, so I think that denies it. What a shot from Tesses, though. The first bullet accuracy from this guy is incredible, and he's opened up so much of the map for them.
A refresh spots the barrel of Bubsky, but he's quicker on the headshot here. Bubsky luckily had the AK. Wallbang's refresh out of it. Now Tesses, he's got that AK. He worked so hard to get. Astralis, I'm sure, is sweating a little bit right now. Heroic is starting to get closer. That smoke will allow them to run into the site, putting pressure on the pit setup. You've got Magisk in here, though. One of the best in the world at this position, but he's only managed 1. It is Tesses who's the star of the show in round 19. And it's just Dupree left alone. Gideon landing shots for the Deagle. And this is not how the story should have gone. Astralis getting crushed by the weaker weapons. The Deagle's opening things up. And Tesses slams it shut.
And gone are the days of Astralis being the ones that win these sorts of rounds, right? This is something Astralis used to be able to do all the time. I mean, we obviously have to take into account the new lineup for Astralis, the new look for them, but I want to more look at Heroic because these are the sorts of rounds where when you win them, this can really push you over the edge, make you an elite team. When you can win with just the deeds, when you can win when the odds are against you. Those are the rounds that can turn games. And maybe not this one. Maybe this one wasn't close anyway, but you definitely want to have the chance to just close it out much more cleanly. And damn, Tesses, just so good at these aggressive positions, so good at these instant headshots. Doesn't give anyone a chance.
It's very difficult when you're going up against a player of his caliber, right? It just shuts you down, doesn't give you any time to react. 13-6. Heroic is 3 away from the semi-finals. If you're an Astralis fan, do not fret. They will still be in the tournament after this, even after a loss, but it will be the quarters for them. And Heroic looking to do it in style. Astralis have got a buy still. Of course, Dupree on the AWP. It's a 3-man setup. Early on, quite an advanced setup on the A side as well, looking to shut down the brackets. Ooh, just pulled Glaive over to the A side. There's only one player over here right now. Luckily, it is the Rock. It is Zipex.
Still a lot to do, though. He might need that rotate. Glaive is coming into position. Smoke goes down. I think that will do enough to delay Heroic slightly. At least make sure the rotate's there. They want to crossload. There's a big gap.
The gap is huge right now for Heroic. Tessus has got the kill on Zipex, and he's just going to run through the smoke here. Cadian with the deagle has been unleashed. And Glaive luckily getting a headshot back. It's a 4 versus 3. 50 seconds left. Heroic hold the advantage. And Glaive tries to get close in the smoke. Could deny the plan if he gets the spam right here, but just too far up in the air. And Stessus right through the smoke. Kill onto Glaive and Magisk and Dupree. They have no chance in this one. It has to be the save call. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But it's a must-needed one for Astralis.
Oh, the small gap in the smoke gives the game away. Allows Heroic to start moving into that B-bomb site. And Cadian had the opportunity to buy an AK, but he was happy going with the deagle, and it freed him up to go for that push through the CT smoke. Glaive not able to react quickly enough to save his teammate. Ends up being a trade. And then Glaive comes close to the spam, through the smoke, through the coffin. Close is not good enough. He had to deny. As soon as he didn't, the round was done and dusted. Heroic 14-6 up, and they've broken the bank of Astralis. I'm excited for the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
Heroic look dangerous.
Like this. Yeah, this is going to be nuts. The crazy thing is, right, everybody's kind of talking about that honeymoon period, the fact that it's all clicked perfectly for them, but it seems like they're just going from strength to strength, which to me just looks fantastic, right? Because we did say, you know, looking at the upgrade for Borup, definitely Shush coming in was a solid replacement for him, and it seems to have just instantly worked out for them. There has been no growing pains, and because of that, they can just grow and grow in each tournament that comes by. And the more time they get to practice, the more time they get to fix those mistakes, it's only going to get better. And they're riding high on the confidence, right? You know, if you've just got yourself a win over a Pro League, you've got yourself a big performance here against Astralis, if they can close it, heading into the semifinals, they might just be on for another huge championship here.
And obviously Astralis will get a bit more time too.
Oh, right? Of course.
And that's going to be great for them. They're going to have a few days to maybe get a bit more practice time in ahead of those playoffs. So even though they're having a tough time here, it's against a great team in Heroic, and they're going to have a bit more time to work on anything that's gone wrong for them in this game.
Yeah. I mean, you always have to sort of temper your expectations for a roster like this. I think a lot of people will just hang on to the name of Astralis, right? You kind of look at what they've been able to do and achieve, but I think a lot of people need to add context to the fact that they have just lost their superstar player. It's not a very easy thing to do when you're switching up these roles and you're trying to compete at the highest level against the best teams in the world. And to make it to playoffs is decent already, but this is their biggest test yet. And Tessus diving out of the apartments, unable to get anything. Luckily, Refresh comes in, but Dupree, I don't know how. He hasn't been able to pick that one up. And the kills start to come through here for Heroic. It's just Zipex left alone. He's making a quick play from the B site. One will get planted default, and it's Cadian and Stown looking to close this one out. But it is the clutch man himself. The clutch minister steps into the 1v2.
Oh, steps into the open, but takes a good bit of damage. Down to 41 health. And in comes Cadian from the other side. Not ready for that second player. Matt and series point for Heroic. Semi-final point for Heroic. And something else I love, Dinko, is that Tessus is playing so well, and yet he's willing to just run in first with the Mac 10 in this round. Like, he doesn't care about the 30 bomb, he just wants to win.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive to see a player be that committed to the cause of victory. Sorry for cutting you off there, Hawk, but I was just so shocked by the fact that Dupree has actually bought a Nova into this round, by the way. So we're seeing a Nova in a professional game of Counter-Strike. It is not a lie. Your eyes do not deceive you. That is, in fact, a Nova. Well, it might just be the win here for Heroic. It might just be semi-finals locked in up against what is a very weak buy of Astralis. Cadian walking into top banana, finds out Glaive. He's looking for the follow-up, and he's got it. 2 kills picked up. That's the B site cracked open. And now Astralis with the weaker weapons looking to pull it off. But Cadian running right through the smoke. Tessa's getting the headshot. It's an AK picked up, but every kill's coming in here for Heroic, and it's cleaned up. It's Heroic to take the wins. They're the Great Danes in this matchup, and they head right through to the semi-finals.
Savannah.